So I think on this platform of LIBF, today we are really spearheading. I must congratulate all the organizers and all the visionaries who have visualized this kind of a concept. Today we are talking about such novel concepts, such novel discussions, and such wonderful points are being presented today. It is nice that we are following up this panel on sustainable medicine, good medicine, with yet another very novel topic of the use of digital technology for doctors. See, as doctors, we are taught the art of medicine, the science of medicine. But today, doctors are expected to be content creators. We need to be Instagram influencers. We need to know AI. We need to market ourselves. It is said that without marketing, a good idea is just that. It's just a good idea. It is not good business. It is not translating into good science. It is not translating into a good project. So we have a very, very notable expert in the field today to talk about this wonderful topic of use of digital technology. It is my honor to invite Mrs. Rinku Mawani, a business partner at Fortis Group of Hospitals. She is leading all the 4 units of Fortis in sales and marketing. She is somebody who has vast amount of experience in sales and marketing. Over the last 20 years or so of her experience, she has extensively worked in the industry and shared her knowledge in diverse aspects of the hospital business, such as business development, marketing strategy, branding communication, product launch, corporate and institutional sales, customer relationship. So she acts as a bridge between the clinicians and the patients, understanding their side as well as our side. So welcome, Mrs. Mawani. We'll definitely benefit from your insight.
So thank you so much, Dr. Thakkar, for that wonderful introduction. Many thanks to LIBF for having me today on this platform. It's my proud privilege and honor to be amongst all of you today to present on a topic which is very close to my heart as to how digital technologies can be utilized by doctors. Special thanks to Dr. Dakshini, Dr. Punjani, as well as Dr. Daya for curating this session. And such wealth of knowledge. I have seen the discussion before this topic started. We were talking about 5,000-year-old medicine. And then the panel rightfully set the context that good medicine has to be sustained. And in today's era, sustenance requires a great deal of things other than just the good medical practice. And digital marketing and digital media usage is one of those things which today I would like to discuss and share my experience of that to all of you. So there's this lot of clamor about technology, use of technology, and this gentleman has already declared that in no time the doctors are going to be out of business. So how many of you actually believe that technology is going to make doctor obsolete? None of us. So true. So technology doesn't replace medical professionals, is going to replace the task, the mundane task that medical professionals are doing on a day-to-day basis. Because the technology is not going to sit in your OPD for 10 hours, is not going to consult the patient relative, those who are really, really aggrieved. They are not going to be consulted by the technology. They are not going to take those judicious calls. Just now the panel established that there has to be a judiciousness in the way we prescribe those investigations. We don't prescribe those investigations. There is a call that a doctor takes. And technology is definitely not going to do for that. And the medical legal responsibilities is definitely going to be with the doctors. So technology doesn't do all of that. It's what the doctors do for. So in my today's presentation, what I'm going to cover is that how technology can help doctor communicate, stay visible, and ensure that the right patient walks into their OPD. Now, I'm presuming there are a lot of doctors who must be working with corporate hospitals. For them, a certain part of that right patient walking into the OPD problems will be well taken care of. But the doctors who are working in their private setup and who are having a small nursing home of his own would benefit largely from understanding of how to use and enhance their practice through digital technologies. So technology basically is a force multiplier. Whatever you're doing in your OPDs, whatever you're doing in your practices, the technology would help you multiplying that. The technology will help you, your presence to expand, the precision to go better, and your recall value to go higher. Now the core problem that most of the doctors faces in their private practice is listed over here. There are issues regarding the inconsistent patient footfall in the OPD. There are issues with rising operational cost. Now, all of you must be facing this challenge in your day-to-day OPD that the patient, the staff members are going very expensive. The Gen Zs are not really very, when it comes to the receptionists, the nurses, the cost of the hiring those people are day by day increasing. And doctors has to put all of this together and ensure that the practice remains sustainable. The OPD to IPD conversion challenges also remains largely there because the patient family have to be counseled. They have to be told what needs to be done, and not most time the families are ready to accept those calls. So this is one part of problem that digital technology can address, and that would be addressed by the EMRs, by putting the right kind of technology in your backend, in your clinics, by using the right kind of software to predict and precisely manage this aspect. But the poor use of technology also results in having less visibility for the good clinical work that all of you do. The Dr. Raja was rightly mentioning that at that time, having a good clinical practice and having the right word of mouth would solve most problems. But in today's era, when everyone is all the time present, this only depending on good word of mouth will not be sufficient. We will have to use tools that helps us spreading the visibility. So the digital marketing for doctors works essentially on two sides. One is self-branding and second is lead generation. Obviously, any marketing is expected to raise some sort of leads for the doctors. So digital marketing would largely into two arenas. One is going to be self-branding. Now, why branding? Because when you are visible, it builds trust. When you brand yourself, it builds confidence of patient in your practice. When you are consistently present across all platforms, I would mention some of the platforms, the young generations are already aware of the platform that is being utilized. The strong and ethical patient reviews are non-negotiable. Still today, we are working in that arena where if a patient is giving you the right feedback, the right review, that's going to really help you on your organic visibility. Now, generally, this visibility, this brand building is about organic visibility, and your lead gen is about inorganic visibilities. Now, what is brand? As Jeff Bezos says, the brand is something. It's spoken about you when you are not in that room. And why it's important for doctor to build a very strong and sustainable branding. So a right branding helps you differentiate. It increases your recall value. And why it's so important in healthcare? Because it helps you reducing the risk of losing patient. It helps you building trust with your patient. And there's a lot of emotional assurance in patient's mind when they know they have the right doctors to help them navigate through all these problems. Okay, so this is the inorganic way of doing the brand building. Now what all we do, I'm sure all of you have some exposure to few of these things. Starting with having a very decent website where you would be articulating what you do as a doctor, what are your patients are, what are your ways of treating patient, and what are your success rate. That can be easily put you on your website and that help your patient searching you. Please note, in today's era, no patient ever goes to a doctor without having a proper digital assessment. The moment a doctor's name is suggested to somebody, the first thing patient, I think when we are doing it, the first thing we do is to Google that doctor. And if the doctor is not present there on any of this platform, by and by for patient, doctor is not there. So this is very important to have a very good digital footprint for a doctor in today's era to build his practice. Second, which is, that's called Google My Business ranking, which is again something which is old, but it has not really been utilized by doctors in their private practice to their benefit. Now what happens when you have a right GMB presence and when your patient keep on writing your reviews in that GMB, your organic ranking go up. So you don't have to worry about a corporate hospitals or a practo or somebody putting that advertisement out and ensuring that they get all the eyeballs. You will be getting eyeballs through the organic way. Then there are SEOs. Now, see, most of this, all of you, this SEO will not be done in-house. It's not very easy. In your busy practice, you will not be able to do all of that. So there are people, there are professionals who would help you with SEOs. But you must know that what is search engine optimization is nothing but talking the language people want to hear. So if they are searching for cardiologists near me, they are searching for a specific technology, they are searching for something, you should also be using same words when you are talking to them so that your organic ranking go up, and when patients are searching for you, they would found you. Social media. Now there's no dearth of social media. We all know everyone is forever on Facebook, now on Insta, and then YouTube. Mind you, YouTube is where the patient go with an intent. They want to search about something specific to their disease. So they are going to YouTube. But Facebook, Insta is mindless scrolling. We call it doom scrolling. Now what happens there? If they see something which is important, they would want to connect with that content and they would want to see. Now for doctors to figure out what is going to be important to patient, what is going to be suddenly viral. Now all of us have seen with Mr. Donald Trump doing what he has to do, that penguin going to that hill is becoming like so popular. There are millions and billions of views going to that. Trust me, all of these things are going to be fed. But for that time, that millions and billions of views, if somebody is there who could encash on that millions and billions of views, would be able to convert a large section of those views into the proper bottom line. Now, doctor profile and reputation management is also very important. You must know what your patients are writing about you, and you must have somebody checking through it on a regular basis as to what has been given, what has been talked about you. So essentially, what we are talking about is omni-channel ecosystem. What is omni-channel ecosystem? That wherever you are being presented, be it a YouTube video that you are creating, be it in any of the Insta or other platform you are talking, you talk the same thing that you want to ensure that your patient comes to know of. So I'll just give you an example. You know, sometimes what happens that something which is like very simple would take people's fantasy. Now, during COVID days when we were, I work with Fortis hospitals, so we have our own YouTube channels, we have our own assets and everything. So during COVID days, because post-COVID, this entire communication through patient is through digital media. So we were making lots of content, we were producing it, we were publishing it on our YouTube channel. And believe me, the one video which went viral, I'm sure none of you would be able to guess. The video which has generated millions of views, that video was about breastfeeding in COVID time. Not about, what is medicines to be taken, because there was a lot of people talking about it. But this breastfeeding in COVID times was becoming, that video made that gynecologist received more than 2 million views in no time. That becomes the most talked after video. Now, this thing, once we got that kind of views, once we know that we have connected to the patient, then it's for the doctor to keep on building from there. Now, how do doctors do that? As I mentioned, that whatever message that you would want to give out on your digital ecosystem, it should be connected. You should not be talking different thing on different channels. You should ensure that there is connectivity to all of these channels. Now, the second part of digital marketing is the lead gen, which most of us are interested about, that how would I ensure that this digital marketing is ensuring that I generate patients for my practice, for my clinic, for my nursing homes. Now, what typically happens that Google Ads is being run, and now you would definitely need agencies, because in-house this kind of competence would not be there. Google Ads is something where whatever you see, sometimes whenever you are seeking, when you are going to the Google and you are typing something, and you would feel that, you would see that certain hospitals, practice, and all of these people would keep coming on the top. The organic ranking would start afterwards. The GMB rankings would come in, but otherwise the people who are putting advertisement would come on the top. This is Google Ad. You have to pay per click. So we have to be very mindful as to what kind of ad we want to put in as a clinician. clinicians can't advertise. There are MCI guidelines. So we'll have to be very mindful as to what do we want to publish out there which would help getting more footfalls. As I was mentioning, Google My Business, it is an old thing, but it is very, very valuable. The moment you have your patient writing your reviews in your GMBs, the GMB ranking starts going up. And as the GMB ranking start going up, you're organically, when somebody's searching for a cardiologist near me, or a diabetologist near me, or orthopedician near me, your rankings would pop up. You will also have to ensure that your staff talks to your patient and ensure that the reviews are being filled up. The reviews, if you want to be known as certain thing, you should ask your patient to use those words in your reviews. So if you want to be known as the best orthopedician, ask your patient. You may not be able to do it, but your staff can definitely ask them to have something written on those lines so that it helps your digital scores going up, your organic scores going up. The social media ads, however, because we are medicos, we cannot have those advertisements going. So the social media, the camps, the screening camps or something that we are doing could be advertised on those Insta and Facebook platforms. Now, as I was mentioning, being a doctor, we have only been taught medicine. We have not been taught all of this digital marketing stuff. How do we do it? So there are agencies who would come and tell you that, okay, we can do this for your doctor. When you are identifying someone to work for you, mind. The agency should have worked with some doctors in past, because otherwise they would not know this IPOP journey of a patient. There would be one size fit all for everyone. That will not be helpful to us. And one thing which we should be very, very clear is that marketing or the views or the clicks can improve your visibility. That not necessarily will help you generating patients. Patients get generated when they see you across all the channels talking the same thing. They have that confidence, they have that faith in you. So as I was mentioning, the OPD growth depends on the search presence, trust, convenience, and accessibility. IPD decisions are not being just driven by trust and confidence. They should have that comfort and reassurance that whatever you are doing is right by them. Quick spikes, as I was mentioning, that penguin is going to that hill, about 1 billion views, is going to fade fast. There's nothing going to happen afterwards. So those things which is fading fast is coming, they become, such overnight sensation, they fade fast. As a doctor, we may not be having access to those kind of, I would say, visibility. At the same time, those visibility not necessarily help you getting footfalls. So ideally, how should you be managing your digital presence? Conventionally, what we do is that we would be having about 60% of our budget going in for digital branding. We would create the brand for doctors. Creating brand is a long drawn thing. Rome was not built in a day. Same way, your brand will not be built in a day. We will have to consistently work on that. The GMBs, the patient reviews, the website presence, articles, blogs, everything has to be done on a very regular basis. If you're working with corporate hospitals, some part of it would be taken care by agency. Otherwise, in your private practice, either you do it yourself or you will have to have someone doing it for you. The 40% money of yours should go into the lead gen. Not necessary, everybody has to do that. If you really want to have fast results, you spend those 40% over that. But rest 60% that is being done or that is being spent on creating that brand of you is more than sufficient for you to sustain in long run. The best digital marketing approach is that you have to be consistent, you have to be committed, and it's in for a long haul. It's not that today you start doing something in the 30 days you would be having some 1 million view, and by 58th day you stop putting up content out there, 68th day people would forget. So how we need to do is, it's about 9 to 24 month long period that you have to continue be at it. It's not that overnight we could achieve this. As your medical practice takes time, the word of mouth takes time, the critical masses takes time to build, this also takes time to build. And we have to be consistently at it. आज किया कल थक गए परसों बोर हो गए और कुछ काम आ गया पेशेंट आ गए बिजी हो गया नहीं That will not help. You will have to identify a time in your busy schedule, be it a Sunday, be it a Saturday. Give that dedicated 15, 20, 35 minutes slot to do that on a very regular basis. Initially, you would not see results. You would really get bored कि क्या हो रहा है, कुछ भी तो नहीं हो रहा है, मैंने इतने सारे ब्लॉक लिख दिए, ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया, नहीं. It will not be overnight. Trust the process. When you were studying your medicine, you spent 5 years to get that label. Over here, at least about 6 to 9 months you have to be consistent at it to generate the visibility across all the social media. And there are many people doing so many things. Everyone is vying for the attention on the Instas and rest of the social media platform. So we will have to be there consistently talking the right thing, ensuring that when a patient wants to see us, they see us in certain lights. So what really technology delivers? Technology helps you save time in your OPD. If you put the right EMR and the right software in place, it helps you save time. There's a lot of clamor about cohort-based marketing as well. Due to the paucity of time, I will not be able to cover that. But that is there. If you have a sustainable, you have a huge practice and there's a patient database, you could use those database to generate further patients. You could talk to those patients on a regular interval. Gone are the days where you have to just wonder that the patients are going to come back to me because I have treated him right. We will have to keep on reaching out to those patients to ensure that the connect remains strong. Yeah. So the technology help you repeat fewer explanation because your videos could explain the discharge processes, the videos could explain what is to be expected when the patient is suffering from certain illness. It helps patient having higher tendency to do use those medicines, use those tests, and in their day-to-day life. There is lower post-discharge confusion, so that there's no confusion in patient's mind if everything is documented. Dr. Raja just rightly mentioned that everything has to be documented on this through this videos, through this messages. You give patient what they want so that the confirmation to treatment is on a higher side. And the doctors recall beyond patient hospital visits. So patient continue to talk about you, patient continue to get inputs from you, will help your brand on a longer duration, and that will help create a very sustainable practice in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for explaining such a difficult concept. We can have a day-long seminar on this topic. She has really distilled her experience and her passion for the subject into this short 20-minute talk. I invite Mr. Subhash Bhai Thakrar, Director LIBF from Africa, to felicitate Madam, Mrs. Rinku Mamani. Come.
And we move on to the next talk. We spoke about Ram and Krishna. Now we talk about Parsuram. Parsuram taught us the principles of strategy, discipline, and use of power. Somebody said, "Kachi log ke khoon mein hi, पांजे खून में ज पैसा ने धंधो लखेलो है तो वो पैसे के वापरे जो कि ने इन्वेस्ट कटा करे जो." Let me call upon Mr. Jobanputra Hasmukh. He is a senior CA practicing chartered accountant, senior partner at Hay and Associates LLP. He is also the managing trustee of Lohana Vidyarthi Bhavan in Wadala in Mumbai. And he is part of multiple platforms and has given this talk in multiple forums. I welcome you, sir.
Rather good afternoon, friends. I'm an odd man out here because you are all medicos and I am the financial person. I was surprised by Dr. Daya. We all understand that everything ultimate culminates in the money. Money is the most important part of our life. Even during your talks, in all discussions, ethics, money, all other aspects were connected with the money. Friends, if you earn and don't save, it is no meaning. I always say, don't be rich, be wealthy. It is very easy to be rich, but it's very, very difficult to be wealthy. And that comes to a managing, spending part of your money. Why? Why financial planning matters for doctors? First is high income, wealth. You earn substantial income, but because of your busy schedule in your own professions, you are a poor manager, not of course all. So many doctors I have seen that very well plan their wealth and money. But often we see that because you are busy, it is very difficult to manage your wealth. Friends, before I prepared my talk, I came to hear only how many complications, medical complications are there in your life. So many investigation, over investigation, this technical aspect, legal aspect. So definitely I can understand that you have not focused much on your wealth. And that's why, friends, I think Dr. Daya thought it rightly that he has have some time on finance. The high income wealth, earning substantial income, does not automatically translate into wealth. Friends, your income has nothing to do with your wealth. As I said, if you manage your income properly, then only wealth can be created. Second is a time scarcity challenge that we just now discussed. Structure prevents leakage. If you don't lack of system, financial structure results into tax inefficiency, even in wealth saving inefficiency or investing inefficiency. That results into poor management of the wealth. The unique financial journey of physicians. First is our delayed wealth building. Extend educations and residency programs postpone earning years, creating a compressed timeline of wealth. Generally, I'm not getting noise. You can listen, all? You can hear me? Because I am getting a lot of noise here. Yeah. So you start earning little late because of your medical study. And so you start investing late. That is the very first important point. Then again, serve time constraint, I just referred to it. Complex income streams. You are different. Sorry, I'm getting noise. I'm getting a lot of noise. Can I speak on this? Yes, sir, you can speak. I don't want to listen. I can speak like that. That will be better. Yeah. So, sewer time constraint, complex income stream, multiple revenues, OPD, surgical procedure, hospital, etc., etc. So you have various different stream of revenue. Enhanced tax scrutiny, high visibility and substantial cash billing attract increased attention from tax authority. From generally, there are so many myths about the doctors. We listen that the money is under table, over table, this it takes so many, and this all goes to a tax people, and that's why you need to plan your all financial properly, your fee structure properly, etc. From healing patients to protecting your own future. Understanding the fundamental difference between earning well and building lasting wealth is a critical part of long-term financing. In the initial remark, I said that earning does not translate into the wealth. The clinical action paradox. Medical professions dedicated themselves to clinical excellence, yet financial structure often takes a backseat. High income creates a false sense of security. This is not with your profession, this is with all. That we earn more, we are secure. That is a very false thing. Again, I say rich mindset and wealthy mindset. Friends, to become rich, again I repeat, is easy. To become wealthy is very, very difficult. Unless and until you translate your money into proper investment, you cannot become a wealthy. This is warning financial mistakes ahead. Common financial mistake doctors make. Mixing personal and clinical expenses and finances. Blurred boundaries between personal and professional fund create tax complications. If you mix up your expenses or personal expenses with your with professional income, again it creates a complication. Last minute tax plannings. This is a very, very dangerous thing because you are busy. So every month, last month in March, you do your tax planning, you take inefficient financial decisions, and that leads to a heavy tax outgoing. Tip-based investing. After earning, not you, but most of the people invest in a tip-based securities or like. There is another dangerous part, and poor cash documentation. Now, as you were talking about your creating evidences, this is a very, very important for your finance all to have a proper documentation. And for that, you must maintain a proper books of account. For every documentation as you require in medical profession, you too require for the finances. One of them is your 6F form, which says your client register, and along with that, most important part is your appointment diary. Maybe a digital or maybe a physical. In our professional experience, we have seen that the most of the searches on doctors are based on appointment diaries. Because you have got a huge list of appointments and that does not translate into your fees, that mismatch creates a problem. So please see that your appointment diary reconcile with your income. You take a, and now in digital era, everything is on the record. So that is one of the reasons you must have a discipline of having your appointment diary and your stream of income. Professional, another is insurance part, professional indemnity insurance, protect your malpractice claim and legal costs. You are discussing about the legal claims, personal health insurance, then disability cover. Of course, as a doctor, you know, but there are certain basic criteria that what insurance you should have. It should be 25 to 50 lakhs minimum, and you must have a disability cover also, because your body is your plant, because surgery and everything. So you should have that cover also. Daily review. Friends, of course, these are some routine things, but within a short time, I want to tell you some most important things. Every day, or at least once in a week, please have your bank statement. Don't rely on your accountants. कहते हैं एक आईना झूठ बोलता ही नहीं. So many frauds we have seen where bank statements have not been verified. Because if your accountant, your manager can give you reconciliation, everything, but unless you go through your bank statements, you will not realize that what entries are there. So at least take some time in the end of the day, or at least within 1 week, to verify your physical bank statement or online, whatever it may be. Unless and until you do that, you will sometimes miss the transactions with your finance. The next most important aspect is reviewing your, reading your messages. Friends, all banks send you the messages of each and every transaction. Most of the time, because of so many messages, we miss it. If any fraudulent transaction is there, or any transaction which warn you, you will miss if you don't read the messages. So please keep these two habits, friends, that reviewing your bank statement every week or every day, whatever is possible. And please, please don't ignore your messages from bank. Because they always say and they give you alert that if it is not you, just please respond to us on the number. But if you miss in a day, the transaction is gone. And in modern time, when a lot of frauds are there, you have to be very, very careful, because if you miss any payment transaction and then day is over, then it is gone. Safeguard bank checks. I'm on going peripheral because in 15 minutes, whatever I want to give you special things that I am discussing, please see your checkbooks. Don't keep your checkbooks without doing it account paying. Because if you keep an open checkbook, there is every chance that your staff or whoever may be, who has intention to cheat you, they can use you. Friends, please understand, signature is not a now so that valid things. All over the world, signature is not at all important. If your check has gone, they will honor it. And a fraudulent signature is a very easy. So if you keep an open checkbook, it will create a problem for you. So at least keep 2 checkbooks if you need. One, all account pay. And second, for your cash withdrawal or cash transaction, you can keep second checkbook in your custody. So that is also very, very important. Verify every check. Sometimes in our professional life, we have seen that in between checks are removed. So at least see that all serial checkbooks are there in your checkbook. Privacy and confidentiality. Please, please don't discuss your financial transactions in presence of your employees, your drivers, or your staff. Please also don't discuss, if I go extreme, with your minor children. See that all transactions are confidential with you or at least with your spouse. We have seen that open transactions in motor car has also created a lot of issues because driver listens everything. I am talking to you some special things because other things will take full day for finance. Cash. Never handle cash in presence of your minor children or even in your children because they give a wrong impression to them that you are having a huge cash balances with you. Now there are 4 ledgers: security, stability, growth. Emergency fund covering 6 to 12 months you must have, whatever may be the case. Then fixed deposit, high quality debt, they are your stability. They will give you stable income. So that is second level. Third is a growth. That is a diversified equal mutual fund, etc., which gives you the growth. FD will not give you the growth. Net of inflation, FD doesn't give any real income, but it requires a stability it gives you. So that asset allocation you have to do according to you. Sometimes we say according to your income, sometimes we say according to your age, but that planning yourself or with the advice of your financial advisor, you can do. Then you should have control of all your assets and all of your investment. That is a very, very important part. Legacy. Friends, I want to speak more on this because you earn, you save, and proper legacy is not done, is useless. So your will, how to do, what to do, and when to do is very, very important. Because any number of time you can change your will, but will must be in the place. Will must be registered. Otherwise, there are other legal complications. Fortunately, now in 3 metropolitan cities, probate is removed. But probate is removed only when there is no litigation. So there are so many things when you draft the will, you have to be careful. Particularly when you want to exclude someone from your right, it should be very elaborative. Why you want to exclude him? So-and-so son, so-and-so daughter, for any reason. In past you have spent money on him, whatever it may be. But it should be elaborative because we in our professional life we have seen that this have become a huge litigations among your children. Third important thing about legacy planning, I'll say, we always advocate to all HNI for a private trust. Private trust protects your wealth. Now, for example, if you have 2 sons, 3 sons, 2 daughters, one of them is weak, one is mentally issues, he is not able to manage his wealth. So, family private trust is a very, very important aspect of your future legacy. Because in that, ownership remains with your children, but control does not remain with them. You appoint somebody as a trustee, executive trustee, and you see that money goes to them after certain years. You can determine the trust after 15 years, 20 years. But you see that they don't get the control of money at very early young age. And particularly in the present times, when huge opportunity to lose the money, I use right word, all youngsters are doing F&O, future and options, market speculations. SEBI has given the report that 95% persons who have invested in F&O have lost the money. And all these 90% were youngsters having a yearly income of less than 5 lakhs. Just understand. And when they lose the money, they come to the parents. So all reasons, family private trust is very, very important. So you can think about that. This is a percentage I have given. Emergency fund 12.5. This is a thumb rule. Insurance 6, investment 35%, debt 20%, personal expenditure 26.5%. This is the just ratio you should keep for your allocation of your investment and spending. You can do the tax optimization for long-term capital gain. Friends, every year, so many people are missing this. Every year, you can have an exempt income of 1.25 lakhs from long-term capital gain. So you can do the tax arbitrage at the end of the year. If you have good investment, you can sell, and next day you can buy. This is annual tax harvesting, I've said. Now, you all doctors are always love in real estate. But friends, principle is that real estate never appreciates. It is a land which appreciates. Real estate always depreciates. So if you want to make investment, land is the right area to invest, because the superstructure always depreciates. So you be careful, and time to come. We have seen our professional practice that real estate has become a huge controversy or huge litigation among the children. So if you have got so many real estate, and after your death, it creates a lot of problem. So see, you invest in real estate very sparingly, your own house, your second house, that's all. That is what we think. It's up to your personal choice. Smart use of EMI. Friends, if I say something, it will not be out of context. Entire India is leverage. You understand what is leverage? Everybody is on the interest. 90% youngsters are on the leverage. There, 2 minutes? Yeah. 90% youngsters are on leverage. There comes the important role of EMI. EMI is a very tricky thing. Friends, I always say the interest is the 8th wonder of the world. And compounding interest is the 9th wonder of the world. If you know how to play with your EMI, one extra payment of EMI will save huge interest. So every year, every month you have EMI, pay one EMI extra, and it will turn entire your principal amount. And you will just see, it's a really magic. We can give you, my partner can give you the figures on that what your loan is for 20 years, you can finish within 10 years. Only by paying one extra EMI. So again, EMI strategy also you have to play. I've written interest. Credit card usage and psychology. Please give me 2 minutes, I'll finish. When you spend money, it hurts you. When you count 15,000, 20,000, give on the counter. But the moment you give credit card, just next moment you forget. And then play comes from the credit card company, next moment telling you, please go for installment. You know what is the interest of installment? 2.5 to 3% per month. That is 30% to 36% per year. So don't come in that trap. First, unless and until it is necessary, please don't use credit card. It's a really psychological game. If you buy on one or second thing, then you don't feel it. The cash advantage, cash spending criteria. Card trap, I said, avoid revolving debt. Yes, again, installment. Don't go for revolving debt. Again, it's a very costly thing. Friends, time was given to me only 15 minutes. It's very short to talk, and the very important uh, concept of the finance, I had a lot of things. But friends, one more wealth creator is ethical tax planning, full disclosure. Yesterday in CA conference I had said that if you pay honestly all the tax, itself is a wealth creators. How you will understand? Because if you generate the cash, then again there is a psychology to spend for superfluous expenditure. Because when you are lying with the cash, it is very easy to take decision for unnecessary spending like traveling, like bigger television, bigger motor car, etc. So first and foremost thing I want to advise that never try to avoid tax. Never. If you save money, it will go in a proper channel, it will earn more income, and it will be more than your tax जो आपने बचाया है उससे ज़्यादा आपका पैसा बचेगा क्योंकि sometime you I have talked to very last thing I have talked to so many government officers they have said जितना हमको कैश आया ना उसमें से 50% हमारे रिलेटिव्स में गया है और कभी वापस नहीं आया you it is very easy to lend cash when it's lying with you आपको लगेगा इतना पैसा पड़ा है क्या करेंगे so please ethical and proper planning and pay full tax and you will remember that after 10-15 years you will be more wealthy. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, sir, for the excellent talk. I would request Dr. Sanjay Jivrajani, sir, to felicitate our eminent speaker. Thank you. Now we come to the highlight of the day where we are going to interview.
Friends, I suggest that you keep a full-fledged lecture on finance because it's very, very difficult and I have to skip some topics, I have to come another topic because I think what are the important things I have to tell you. A lot of things were with me. So sometimes keep one more detailed planning. So yes, we can say that.
Now we come to the highlight of the show, which is the interview which we all had planned. And for this, I would like to invite my co-interviewer, Dr. Ramesh Punjani, sir. Sir is a senior practitioner practicing since 35 years in Mumbai, I would say. He originates from Mulund. He is the director of Puja Nursing Home Mulund and is a visiting consultant at multiple corporate hospitals. He has presented more than 200 papers and he is a teacher of teachers. So, sir, I welcome you.
And now I have to introduce my Dr. Ajay Thakkar. He is a pulmonologist from Mulund again. He has got over 15 years of experience. He is a director of a Medangs hospital in Mulund. He is a treasurer of Indian Association of Bronchology. But what is more to his credit is that he is one of the national coordinator for the TB program. So he is working for India. So Mehul, with all that, can we call our people who we want to interview? So I am going to interview Dr. Rajesh Dhiravani. Sir, please come. Dr. Rajesh Dhiravani is a maxillofacial surgeon from Jabalpur. When I say maxillofacial surgeon, he does not just bothers about the jaws and the teeth, but he is also now has got a corporate hospitals, a chain of hospitals, and he is a director of Hitkarni Dental College and Hospital at Jabalpur. So from a clinician jumping to an entrepreneurship, he is an example. So we have selected, and the another one is.
So my other dignitary is going to be Dr. Ajay Thakkar. He is a radiologist by profession, but he is the managing director of Jupiter Chairman and managing director of Jupiter Group of Hospitals, which has over 1,700 beds in the 3 hospitals and the 4th one coming, and adding more 1,000 beds in the next 3 years. Yeah. So Ajay sir, we'd like to start with you. First of all, thank you for accepting our invitation, sir.
Thank you for calling me.
We all would want to learn from you how you did it. So first question is, after establishing a successful clinical practice, what made you go for making a hospital? What was your inspiration?
So like you know, and like you said in the introduction, I used to run a chain of CT scan and MRI scan centers in the periphery of Bombay. Yeah, not in the Bombay city, Thana, Dombivli, Mulund. after my fourth center, I realized that the periphery of Bombay is completely devoid of healthcare. There is a vacuum, there is an unmet demand. And to fulfill that unmet demand, when nobody was coming forward to do it, I said, let's come ahead and do it. So that is what prompted me to take this action.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Rajesh Dhiravani, I know you were a very successful dental surgeon and a maxillofacial surgeon, even attached to a big corporate hospital like Just Look in Mumbai. And after being so much of success, what made you think of going now for the multi-speciality hospitals?
Well, I started my practice in Jabalpur in 1983 after working Just Look as consultant for 3 years. And there I found that while I was working, I had to have some setup where I could operate all my cases. My wife is a gynecologist. She also wanted to have a hospital setup. She was working with a private nursing home, and I was operating at one of my orthopedic friends' nursing home, which was just a single specialty. So we thought to start this venture with gynec and maxillofacial center only. But in the meantime, some of those professors, those were retiring from medical college, and medical college was quite away. And we found that the patients reaching there, it was not possible for them because there were no transportation facilities, etc. So they were dying on the way. So we thought of starting some setup with the help of some of the professors, retired professor. They wanted to come with us. Unfortunately, none of them they joined. They just promised, but they did not join. So I decided to requested my family members, and then we thought of starting this venture. In fact, I just wanted to have a gynecology and maxillofacial. In the meantime, way back in 1987, when I was organizing one national conference of maxillofacial surgery, Dr. Sancheti from Pune, he came as chief guest. And we proposed him, and he was a good, organizer for starting or giving us a planning for the starting a hospital. So we had a meeting with him, and he said, you come down to Pune, and you start a hospital which should be self-sufficient. And he gave us the plan, and we went with our architect there, and then we planned to have this. The main purpose was to serve the people of Jabalpur.
So again, what comes out as common between both of us was that we targeted an unmet demand, So I always say that it is better to complement than to compete. So
and it was not only Jabalpur, which that time it was having a population of 8 lakhs, but we were catering to a 300 kilometers periphery. Exactly. And
So
a lot of floating population is there.
So what comes out commonly is attacking an unmet demand and creating a support system rather than competing with the establishments.
Yeah, in fact, we were probably the first one, or rather second one in Madhya Pradesh to have this multi-specialty
Sir,
hospital.
all agreed. But to have such a thing, I think first thing you need is a finance.
No, you need madness.
I was sure you would come out with that. So I think that many times we have discussed this with Ajay. So it is the madness, and that's what exactly it means, the risk-taking ability, and just not thinking about what will happen.
sometimes
just
when
go.
Call it what you want to call, but what you need is a madness,
Yeah,
What
one
you
more
need
thing.
is
when you have a good practice, like if you're a good clinician and people they have faith in you, you feel sky is the limit, and you jump into such thing. But always risk-taking is always
So how
there.
did you manage your finance initially? I'm sure you were not born with a silver spoon, so you made everything on your own. But there was a family at your support, friends at your support, partners, banks, government. What else?
everybody that you named. So State Bank of India was our banker, and for every rupee that we invested, they invested 3 rupees. That is, 75% was loan and 25% was equity. Family, yes, of course, very strongly supported. Friends, very strongly supported. Community, very strongly supported. It's never a one-man army. It's always, a group or always a support system when you are a first-time entrepreneur.
About you, Rajesh?
Same thing. In fact, 25% was our seed money, which we were earning. My father had a business. My brother was also in the business. One of my brother, he's in Bombay. He also put in some money. And then 75% we took it from Bank of India. But unfortunately, taking such a huge bank loan, probably it is sometimes becomes mistake, because once you are new in a new thing, it's a new venture, which is a new concept in the city, where you had just small setups like nursing homes, single specialty nursing homes. Most of them, they were maternity home. So most of the doctors in the city, they were discouraging us. But then when we started, as soon as we took the loan, the disbursement was so delayed, we already built up the building, and we could utilize that money for equipments and day-to-day expenses only. In the meantime, the Iraq war, I'm talking about, we started this hospital way back in 91. After practicing for 8 years in Jabalpur, we started this 91, and bank loan was on. And that time, the bank interest was so high, it was 17%. In the meantime, Iraq war has come up. It went to 19%, 21%, and we paid up to 23%. So whatever money we took in next 5-7 years, we paid 3 times of that original money. So interest rate was very high. But then it did not, we did not take any back foot. Fortunately, in the meantime, we got this central government health schemes, etc. Footfall was good, and then we could make it. It took us about 4 years to break even.
So, but yeah, this is continuing on what you said. So, did you have any thought of retreat? Were you like personally liable for the loan? Did you ever feel nahi karna chahiye tha? This madness was enough?
No. Straight, simple answer, no. And I want to add one thing, you know, like retreat or something. Whenever you take a risk, there is a very simple thing. If you succeed, yeah, you are a visionary. If you fail, you are a megalomaniac. Who told this stupid fellow to stop his practice and do the hospital? So, but I never felt like retreating. I always felt that it was a must and I must do it.
I think here it speaks of our genes. See, we Lohana the fighters, right? We came right from desert, and we came to all different cities of India, and I think many of them are from many parts of India, and we succeeded, right? We succeeded at every cost, and I think that is what it means. I think we have these genes inside to fight out the situation and to succeed come what may. I think that's what you mean.
That's right.
Yeah, so we were discussing, sir, actually, sir, before, while we were making the questions, like since I am also in the process of making my hospital, sir said the same thing. I said, sir, hum Lohane hain. Ek baar ghus gaye to ghus gaye. And you have to fight till the end. You have no chances of retreat. So, did you face any challenges like setting up the hospital, planning, architects? When these are not people you normally deal with when you're trained or do clinical practice.
You are right, yeah. But I was fortunate to have a lot of friends from variety of trades, and I was fortunate to mingle with the architects, consultants, and fortunate to see everything. So I had some clue of what I was doing. And like I said, madness. I also had one more madness, and I said that the architect that I will select should not have drawn a single square feet of healthcare space. If anybody understands healthcare and wants to be my architect, he is disqualified. So you're right. I mean, there is a huge challenge and there is a huge learning. I had great teachers on that.
In my case also, like I was a successful practitioner, I had a lot of friends like architects, local architects, and some friends from outside also. I hired an architect from Delhi, but it was very difficult for him to come all the way. So he told one of his junior who was practicing Jabalpur, and that is how I could take him to Pune also, to Dr. Sancheti's setup. He could see, and then we designed. But for financial arrangements, again, you should have a good financial planner in the form of a chart accountant.
Ajay, initially when you took me, when the Jupiter Hospital, Thane Hospital was in making, and you showed me 2 theatres, and I immediately see that becomes inappropriate for a 200-bedded hospital. So I think your vision changes as the time passes. You realize what is more needed. More ICU beds are needed, or more theatres are needed, or more what specialties. So
it's a dynamic process, agree.
Yeah, so coming to the next question, sir, about government and corporate regulations, permissions, dealing with bureaucrats, the challenges.
So it was always a big challenge, and there is no way. You are not trained to do it. You don't know what to do when you go to there. And sometimes I went to Sachivalaya, and I would sit in front of him and he would look at me and I would look at him. And one of the times I distinctly remember, to one officer I said, I'm in India by choice and not by default. तुम मेरे को कितना भी तकलीफ दो, मैं छोड़ के जाने वाला नहीं. काम करने का है कि नहीं करने का है बताओ. He looked at me and said, ठीक है, तुम्हारा काम हो गया.
I think that is
In
the spirit.
my case, you know, as I already mentioned, all these bureaucrats and people, they were coming to me as my patients. And I never found any difficulty. I did not have to pay a single penny as bribe, nowhere.
I think this
Electricity
is the
board,
advantage of
you know,
a second
small city. Small
this
city.
smaller
yes.
cities, smaller cities. While in Bombay here, everybody
So,
is.
Yeah, that was a big advantage.
Hey, but sir, I think this is a good platform. LIBF is a platform where you can find maybe CAs, you can find architects, you can find government officials who can probably, help you around. I don't know, sir is disagreeing with me, but
I completely disagree with you.
I think the
Government officials are nobody's
Now
friends.
things are changed, probably. Things are changed. But still, if you have good friends, people, they'll understand your service and your passion. You know.
Ajay, another challenge after when you make such hospital and it's now ready to start is to find out the consultants of your choice. Now we know there are practitioners who, like what Dr. Dilip Raja told us, there is a good things and a bad things in us, and we must put up. So how will you choose a person who is probably ethical, at the same time competent, and at the same time, he would be able to join you?
So first thing is personal knowledge, and second thing is ref check. For example, let us say I want to look at a surgeon. I know 10 surgeons. I would call one of them and say, hey, what do you say about this fellow? Or somebody who has worked with him and ask him, what do you say about this fellow? If he raises one single doubt about his integrity or about his ethics, I would just dump him without thinking. That is no compromise there.
So even though he may be a very good person,
He
for
may
your
be
hospital,
as good a surgeon or as good a human being he might be, but if that single question is answered negatively, we can't work with him. So that is criteria number one, and that I can only get from his colleagues. And fortunately, we are in Bombay, and whoever comes, you will always be able to find out somebody who knows him and check it up.
what about
Second
you,
thing
Rajesh?
is,
I always try to interview them first because after 35 years of running a hospital, at least would understand a person. So I have some questionnaire which is absolutely pertinent to their profession or their listening. First of all, I would like to know about their skill, go through their CVs, some references also. And then there are certain questions. What is your main aim of joining this hospital? We tell them our policy. If it suits them, they join. But in our type of setups, because we just have one government medical college, and there is a lack of good consultants, we don't rely on those agencies, those who send the people. So we try and choose. If somebody has come from outside, most of them, they are newcomers. So initially, they don't have urge for money only. They have urge to make their names. So they try and join us. We try and understand. And you'll not believe us. We have 60% of all those consultants, those who are with us. And
They are still with you.
they are still there
I
with
think
us.
that's the
Yeah.
credit. That's a
I have
credit.
about 95% of consultants who are there with me from day one to 19 years now.
Great.
So most of them,
95%.
So those who have left us, either they have built up their own hospital, or for more maybe
Revenue.
they
I
have
think
gone
how
out
often
of Jabalpur.
I think it's besides money. I think it depends upon how you relate with them. So if they become part as your family members, they would not ditch you. But often right now we have seen that there is a sort of fashion of people just jumping from an organization to organization for some sort of money, and then it becomes a challenge for you to find out the other person.
Yeah, that's the tendency in the newcomers. They want to, because they have spent a lot of money on their education, so they want to earn more and
Quickly
more
as possible.
at a very early age.
While now your hospital is made, the professionals are put to your choice. Now starts marketing. So we just heard how did you market a hospital, Dr. Ajay Thakkar?
So unlike what we heard in the last sessions, we have nearly zero marketing budget. We have no digital presence. We have very little advertising. We just believe in old time's sake. We stay long. We do good work. People will come to us. We build good infrastructure, clean infrastructure, and maintain your integrity. I think things will happen. You need to wait for a while, and they happen. This has been my experiences at 3 hospitals that I have built, And I'm absolutely convinced that that is the way to go about. That is the way that will work in a long run. So we have zero strategy on that. We rely on our integrity, we rely on our doctors, we rely on our honesty and housekeeping and everything else.
So we see on the other side, it's a little, this in our own people, so I can share it. There is a sharing of money, and there is a, going to those doctors and throwing parties and doing all sorts of things. Do you had to indulge any time?
Well, when we were in diagnostics, we used to do that, but in hospital we didn't. So we don't to indulge in that.
Yes, in our setup, we don't spend a single penny on these cut practice. Never, ever. Probably there are so much of competition because we are the pioneers. So people, they have more faith in us. And that's our strength, not getting indulged into
so
all
I think
these
lesson
kinds
for
of
all of
practice.
us is that you falling into such practices do not give you any long-term gain. So if you're a long-term, like both of them have survived over decades now, and I think probably both of them are expanding, we'll come to that question again. But that happens if you keep your integrity. I think that's more important than anything else.
Yeah, and playing the long game is necessary. After listening to both of them, that also we realize that jumping from ship to ship sounds very easy. You might get 1 lakh here and 2 lakh there. But then the person who's taking you in, you will agree that if you see a person jumping ships often, you probably will have less trust in that person who's jumping too many ships and coming to you.
That's right.
So coming to you, sir, next question is, you have the hospital, you have it started, you have good clinicians, but government has a lot of schemes. How do you deal with the government schemes in your hospital like MPJ, Ayushman?
So government does not put a gun on your temple and say you will have to agree to those schemes. We don't agree to any of the schemes. We don't indulge in them. We are just into two things which we do for our own satisfaction. One is pediatric cardiology, because there are very few people doing it. We do that, and to some extent we do radiation oncology, because when we started radiation oncology in Thana, there were about 5 million people who did not have that facility, and government told us that at least this you must do for the sake of the community. So we just did that. Otherwise, we have no government schemes. We have nothing to do with government, CGHS, ABCD, EFGH.
But do you think you will be able to sustain this for a long time? Because as the government is twisting the arms.
I am sorry, they are not. They are not twisting arm at all.
In a time to come, they...
Why should they?
In our case...
Government has said and government has agreed that healthcare is an industry and a profession. They have invited international people to come to India and invest their money in healthcare. And when they have done that, they have clearly understood that their schemes can only be taken voluntarily with your full understanding and will. Government has not forced anybody, I repeat, any organization to join any schemes.
In our case, we initially we survived because of the central government health scheme only. And I think now the packages are also good. Secondly, we always think in such a way that if one patient of government supported person is there, he'll bring you 10 patients, those who are non-government patients.
Correct.
So that is the main thing. But we are not believing in taking this Ayushman. We have not taken Ayushman.
But government has not forced you, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Correct.
That's
so government is not forcing you.
let's
And
hope
Jabalpur
that
has a lot of Government of India undertakings like CSMA and all. So that we have already taken.
So it's a voluntary, it is not compulsory. And I think we hope it continues that way. Sir, after making one hospital, you were not satisfied that you went for a chain of hospitals. So for everybody to know, Dr. Ajay Thakkar now has got multiple hospitals. I may lose a count if I start counting. So there is one in Thane, there are two in Pune, there is something in Indore, there is something coming up in Dombivli, there is something in Mira Road, Bhayandar, and just now I heard that very likely he may be very close to our center right now. So the point is this, that with so many things, what was that drives you to just keep going on and on?
So once you say that, you are a corporate, if you don't progress, you perish. Stagnant water stinks. You need to keep on flowing. Gone are the days when you have a mom and pop hospital, one hospital, stay there and become relevant. That can only happen if you have a real mega structure like AIMS or something with 1,000 beds, or Mata Amrita in Cochin. But otherwise, I think if you are into commerce, if you are into corporate, then you have no options but to keep on going.
Sir, you have also expanded, and I think Dr. Raju Dhiravani, they have got one hospital which now about 600 beds, and
Yes.
there is another one which is planning to make a gynec center. There is one cancer center. There is one dental college with a dental
We already
hospital.
have 20 years old college.
What made you just keep on expanding?
Yeah, in fact, the hospital what we have, fortunately we had the land, so we kept expanding, adding few new facilities, some super specialties. So that is how we could expand because there was a demand. Second, there was a lot of opportunities to go to other cities, nearby cities also, including Indore. But we thought ours is basically a family-run professional institution. I won't say it is a business. So we want to be little professional in our approach. If you expand too much, probably you'll have to hire more and more outsiders. Right now, currently, we are the first generation doctors, myself and my wife. Now in our family,
So
staying
for
under the
everybody's
same
this thing,
roof,
Dr. Rajesh
we
Dhiravani's
have
family has now got 10 consultants.
10 consultants
Wow.
living under the same
Congratulations.
roof.
So now,
So now practically we have all the specialties in our house only, in-house. 3 of them are gynecologists, right? so probably now we'll be able to expand to other cities also. Thank you. And the 11th one is on the line. We are looking for a doctor girl from my nephew.
so I think there is a matrimony just across, so you can try that.
So what are the future plans, sir, for Jupiter? What do you see?
Keep on growing. Every couple of years, add one more.
So for everybody to know, that Jupiter has come out some time back with an IPO, and I would probably not a finance guy, so how many thousand crores that they could actually generate. And that's how, these people, they keep on, generating finance from the people and again giving them the facilities. I think that's a model that you have it. And I think there are many more hospitals to come now from a Jupiter group. Sir,
So
what about
same
you?
about you.
Yes,
Dr. Dhiravani.
Dr. Ajay can do it. We can't do it because, as I told you, we are satisfied whatever we have. So we are expanding there only. Now we are adding 100-bedded mother and child more, which is going to be ready by March. And we are not went for any IPO, though our financial advisor is advising, maybe in future or next generation might do it. But as I already mentioned to you, now we have to go for cancer unit. And now we have stopped taking too much of loans also from bank. We are self-sustained, fortunately. Whatever loans are there, it is only for the equipment, for the purpose of financing. And long time back, one of our financial advisor, who was my father's best friend, he told me, Rajesh, we want to start something new. Start paying a lot of money to build up your capital. And that is what we did. We pay a lot of taxes, 100% taxes. We don't indulge in any cash transaction or anything. With our doctors also, otherwise also. So that's probably the best policy.
Yeah. I mean, see, you can hear these are two different perspectives from two different cities and how the approach to entrepreneurship differs. So, Ajay sir, you were a practicing, you told me when I asked you how do I introduce you, you say I am radiologist by qualification, but now I am the managing director. Do you miss your clinical work?
Yes, I do. That's such a easy thing to do, such a great pleasure, no stress. You do a mistake, somebody else suffers. Here, if I do a mistake, I suffer.
Yeah, I have actually seen Ajay sir come to the radiology department many times, and sir does give his opinion, but sir always says, "No, you ask this fellow. I'll rather be the administrator here."
That's right.
That's a little different in case of Dr. Rajesh. So Dr. Rajesh is still a maxillofacial surgeon. He
I
does
still
surgeries.
do a lot of head and neck surgery and cancer surgery, old cancer surgery. And I'm practicing my specialty at least 12 hours in a day still.
Wow.
So I think he has stuck to that clinical part of it.
Because
As
I
a
have
semi-
professionals to look after the hospital. My younger brother looks after the overall administration and finances. That's the advantage I have.
Dr. Ajay, how much is in your all this doing? I think there may be a lot of hiccups, if not in you, because you are a mad guy. But to your family members, who probably, how much was the support from your wife Kirti or Ankit or the other brothers and everybody?
So nothing could happen without a family support. Yeah. So, and like in India, we say nothing is for you. Everything that you do is for family, and family clearly understands that. I've been extremely fortunate to have such a supporting family. There has never been anything else but 100% support. So it's been a great pleasure.
And I think in Rajesh Bhai's case, the whole family is with him now.
Yes, the
And
whole
his
family.
brother, I think,
Prakash,
Bhai, he
youngest
manages the
brother,
whole
and my
admin
brother
is
sitting here, living here in Mumbai, but he also keeps supporting us by materials and meanings, and he comes there to support us many a times.
And I think all admin part is taken care of by the Prakash Bhai.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we just have last two couple of questions. So, Chan.
How much is the charitable work you could still do with this corporate sector?
Oh, lot. We do more charitable work than most of the charitable hospitals.
I think that's what is important. You need not have a
Lot.
charitable tag, but
Lot.
you can still be charitable.
So we have about 50 beds, which we call it as JCI, Jupiter Charitable Institute, which has a separate entrance, separate exit, everything is separated out. And the patients that are there, we charge them 350 rupees per day for a bed. And these people get food from ITC, which is a 5-star hotel, and I pay 400 rupees to ITC to give them food.
Great.
Yeah. So we have 50 such beds. Other is we have Netralaya, where we say Tuesdays and Fridays are free days. Anybody can come in Mercedes, sign on a dotted paper, and that is the only thing he needs to say that I am poor, and he will get a free treatment. We do about 2,000 surgeries with 0 rupees, 0 paisa every day, every year. We do about 600 to 700 pediatric cardiac surgery free every year with 0 rupees, 0 paisa. So sustainability and profitability, what was being discussed, are completely together, and you can't just separate them out. Yeah. So we do a lot of charity, but we are for-profit organization. We pay 100% income tax, we get no subsidies from government, and we don't claim ourselves to be charitable.
Great. Rajesh Bhai, I think you do a lot of camps and you do a lot of things in your area. So he actually comes from an area where, there are a lot of poor
Tribal
people.
area, yes. In fact, in our hospital, 25% beds in the general ward are free.
Oh,
We don't
great.
charge them a single penny.
That's
It's
great,
absolutely
great.
free for them. A lot of poor people, they come. And then it's not like corporate hospital, the bills, sometimes we have to give the concessions also to the poor people. And then every year we conduct various camps, like recently, now we'll be having from 4th of February, oral cancer camps where we treat them absolutely free. We always select around 40, 50 patients.
So for that,
And-
it just reminds me that Dr. Dhiravani for some time back was given a presidential award from the President of India on the oral cancers.
Oral cancers, yes.
Where-
And then we conduct one mega camp every year for 7 days in some tribal areas, where we examine around more than 1 lakh patients in 7 days. And we conduct on-site around 2,500 to 3,000 surgeries, various surgeries. That's in the government hospital. And we call all the doctors, some of the doctors, they come from Europe and America. Now, in coming week, we'll have a mega oral cancer surgical camp in our hospital, which is going to be there for 6 days, where we are going to call all our postgraduates from all over the country. They'll learn and see. There's going to be audiovisual exchange program, and they'll be able to actually see what our mentors, they do. And otherwise, in the month of March, again in tribal area, we'll have that 7 days long camp, where we'll be examining around more than 1 lakh patient, and then on-site surgery. Whatever surgeries are left, we call them turn by turn. Their sarpanch, other people, they bring in, and then we keep one operation theater for next 2 months. So our surgeons they'll keep operating, and some volunteer surgeons also, they come from our Association of Nursing Home and Private Hospitals.
Great.
Yeah, so this is the last question now, and so this is the most important one, because this applies to all the youngsters here. If you were to start all over again, would you do it differently? In today?
Probably yes. I would have started this exercise 10 years before that I started now. I think I wasted a lot of time practicing radiology because and did not look at the unmet need of the community. As a radiologist, you can support maybe 20, 30 patients a day. When you do this, you can support maybe 500 patients a day, you know. So probably, yes, if I were to do it again, I would probably start a little earlier than what I started now. Yeah.
Sir, in your case, Rajesh.
Yeah, in fact, I just want to, it's my dream to start a charitable hospital with no cost or with very little cost if we can treat those poor patients in and around Jabalpur. We have a lot of tribal area. And when we go for these camps, we don't justify. In fact, there are so many people, they are not being able to come. If we have this kind of hospital where we can serve this poor people, and I would urge our community, we all can come together and then we can start something like this. I don't mind giving land. I have a land. But then if we can start something like this, I would like to devote my life to this kind
Great.
of.
I think the message to all the juniors over here, the people who have just joined or they are, that these two giants, you know, how they have built up on their own, you can also do it. You are all Lohanas, come on now. We have the same genes and you can go on and on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Both these inspiring giants have told us their journey, their life journey, and it has really been an insightful discussion. I now invite Dr. Praveen Daya to felicitate our two great entrepreneurs and the two moderators of the session. Moving on to the next panel, I now invite Dr. Jigar Chandarana, pathologist by profession and entrepreneur by choice, lab director at Pooja Diagnostic Center, a big chain of microbiological and pathology clinics based in Mulund, Mumbai. I invite him for his next panel discussion. Welcome, Dr. Jigar.
Good afternoon, everyone. A very thanks to Dr. Shrutika for the nice introduction. So now I would like to call the panelists for this discussion. I will start with Dr. Bipin Dakshini, a very leading cardiologist based out of Mulund. He studied from Nair for his PG and done an advanced cardiology fellowship from Australia. He's currently running his own cardiology center as well as a leading consultant at Fortis Hospital in Mulund. Welcome, sir. The next panelist is Dr. Pooja Vyas. Happens to be my co-sister as well. She's a radiologist working at Jaslok. She's done a co-author for multiple chapters in the radiology books, especially the Sutton, which is the Bible of radiology. And she has a special interest in fetal medicine as well as liver and renal pathologies. The next is Dr. Purvi Bhalatolia. She is a leading breast oncoplastic surgeon at TMH. She has been successfully accomplished with fellowship at King's College London. And she is a national faculty member in her own branch. Welcome. The next and the last panelist is Dr. Deepak Sugan. He heads the casualty and emergency department at Bombay Hospital. He has a huge experience of 30 years in the same field, and he has been a special interest in decision making for trauma management and emergency services at the Bombay Hospital. Welcome, sir. So, I would like to keep this session, which is the role of doctors as community leaders, in a very fragmented way, so that everybody has a component to describe us and give us a insight of how we can have this role of doctors in managing the community as well as taking help from the community, right? So I would like to start with Dr. Bipin Dakshini. My simple question is that we have communities which have very poor time and at high risk, right? And since COVID, we know prevention is a new word for everybody. So how can we go ahead for this thing?
Yeah, it's a very nice question and a very relevant question in the present times. Uh, at Fortis, I've been there for many years, and maybe for more than 15 years, I have done health checkups of corporates and general community patients, and I used to do about 50 echoes and stress tests, 50 in a day. And besides my other clinical work and references and other procedures. And for 15 years now, that's thousands and thousands of patients. And here, what we saw was most of the time the health checkups are ordered by the corporates because that's one of the corporate liability or their thing that they have to do for their employees. And when they come over here, as he rightly said, Dr. Chandarana, that they have high risk but low cost, and the risk factor is there, and that's the reason they have to do preventive health checkup. And when we do health checkup in hospitals, there are multiple things that are done in a health checkup. You have clinical, you have various investigations like echo, stress test, radiology, blood test, and once these are done, what I feel the most important aspect is to offer treatment or guidelines for this. Often it happens that after the health checkup, the person is referred to, say, an ENT specialist, a cardiologist, a radiologist, or whatever. And the corporates usually have very small time frame in which they can come to the hospital. So ordering certain references and all, again, is very difficult to follow because it requires a lot of time and appointments and all. So there has to be an integrative approach after the health checkup is done. Just giving advice of certain types of references is not enough. And I think that's one place where we can do something more by addressing all the needs that the investigations have suggested.
I think, sir, even lifestyle is a big challenge nowadays.
Lifestyle is a big challenge, especially in the corporates. Not to forget the doctors, we also have the same challenge. And I think every business or every professionals have the same challenges about lifestyle readjustments. We often work 12, 18 hours a day. We come for emergencies. Likewise, the corporates, they have a lot of meetings. Even when they are on holidays, they are on their laptops and all. So lifestyle changes in addition to the health checkup is important. And as we had a session on all this, perhaps part of it can benefit these patients.
So I would like to take it now to Dr. Deepak.
If I
please.
may add,
Yeah, sure.
I would just like to say that as like what you mentioned, the checkups as an important part of preventive strategy, I think even awareness talks should be part, it should be integrated somewhere because health checkup is just a one-time screenshot of what is there in the body. But if the patients are aware of, or if the community at large is aware of the symptoms, what they should look out for.
Yes.
Because a lot of times I get people in the clinic and relatives say, like I am an oncologist, so they will come and say, "मैं PET scan कर लूँगी तो is it? I mean, is there a
solve the
guarantee that there is no cancer?" I said, whatever you do it once a year, but for the remaining 364 days, you have to be aware. You have to know कि क्या symptoms हो सकता है, where you need to be alert. So I think even that there has to be a method to
Counseling.
integrate that somewhere in the system.
True, true. So I think I will take this to further Dr. Deepak, that now since we have an idea, how do we take it as a community which can help us do these things, like we have such a big community, we have people to manage for us, we have so many entrepreneurs.
We can, we should start some lectures for prevention and for the vaccinations to prevent all the diseases in the future. And preventive checkups should be done at the for the community people on the low budget rates, so they can easily come, and it should be on the nearby centers, or nearby centers should be hired by the people. Then they can come easily to get these things done.
Yeah. So maybe we could have some properly registered hospitals and clinics with the community who can
Yes,
help the
yes.
patients, in terms of such times.
Yes.
That sounds good. So Pooja,
Yes.
since you come from the diagnostic side, now how does the community become the backbone for making sure that anybody who's having any challenges, issues, symptoms, as she said, just awareness.
Correct.
How does diagnostics become the backbone for it?
So I think diagnostics is a very important part of building community. One is we can have a protocol based imaging wherein whether I scan here or I scan at an XYZ place, we have a uniform protocol based imaging. So even a tier 2, tier 3 gets the same diagnosis which I am able to get. So by making it a proper protocol based imaging. Secondly, by having routine health checkups, as we said, ultrasound is a very important part of routine health checks. Not just abdomen, pelvis, but your routine mammograms, routine mammographies, renal Dopplers, carotid Dopplers. So if we integrate a lot of things together, I think radiology has a very important role. And if we make proper guidelines, proper protocols, I think we are here to stay together.
So, so as you rightly said, you're talking about standardization.
Yes.
Now, one thing that we commonly face as patients coming to us is that over-investigation is a challenge,
Absolutely.
right?
So I think, again, to solve over-investigation, we have to take probably CMEs, we have to guide our treating physicians that for this problem, this should be the, like if I'm doing USG, I don't always have to do a CT scan or a MRI. For a stone, maybe a USG is very good enough. So we have to tell them what investigation works best for the patient and not over-investigate. As we heard today, we have to adequately investigate, not over-investigate.
I'll just add one more thing. I mean, I believe in the motto that all tests for all people. So when I order, say, pathology or biochemistry, I include everything. Tell me how many people we have diagnosed for, say, with hypothyroidism who do not have any clinical manifestations of hypothyroidism. What about calcium, hypercalcemia? So any patient who comes to me, I do all the biochemical tests irrespective of what he has. Most of my patients are, of course, cardiology patients. So all these inputs help me. I do all biochemistry, X-ray, ECG, echo, and then depending on what we find, we go further in my direction of specialty. But otherwise, I feel that all tests in all patients is my motto. And I feel every person has to have a cardiac checkup.
Absolutely.
True.
That's true.
I think in today's age, we have made the bottom line of 35 years for anybody to have at least a yearly checkup done, right?
My vision is echo for everyone because, I've done many echoes, but more important than the number of this thing, and that is perhaps after, doing so many, I realize that often we diagnose things which we would not have otherwise imagined. And it's just a 10 or 15 minutes procedure. And it is important right from the fetal echoes to elderlies. Now we have elderlies who come with bicuspid, with atherosclerotic aortic valve and severe aortic stenosis. They have multiple comorbidities. And they may be unfit for a regular surgical work. But all these diagnostics, we can offer them trans-aortic valve replacement. Doesn't require surgery, doesn't require anesthesia. So I think imaging is very important.
Yes.
And that's what
And
I
also, I think with our changing lifestyles, even a fatty liver, which was taken very lightly a few years ago, we know that by 2030, NASH is going to be the #1 cause of liver cirrhosis. So, more and more people are becoming aware that we need to act on it and not just sleep over it.
I agree. You, Dr. Puri, you have to say something?
No, I just wanted to comment on the standardization that she said. I think that is very, very important, and I really struggled with it. Like, I was in Tata for 13 years, and then when I moved to Thane, there used to be a lot of discrepancy in reporting. So I think that standardization helps, and that time, but communication also helps. And I was able to call the radiologist and discuss with them, and that also helps avoiding over-investigation. Like, I sometimes get patients from the periphery, like outside the cities, and with some ultrasound reports. And, I'm not sure of the reliability because my clinical impression is something else. The report is probably vague, and then I have to end up ordering it again. Either that, then the patient will be like, why are you ordering the same thing again? This is already done. Then I may have to go one step higher and order something else. Right. So I think that standardization will help solve these matters.
That's where the proposal comes of, that where the leading physician for that patient has to become like a leader of the team and make sure that the subordinates who are supporting him in terms of diagnostics, super specialization are able to again reconvert back to the leading physician. And Dr. Deepa, I would surely have some opinion on that. Right? How does the leader of that team make sure that the patient is properly treated within the ethics of the community?
This will actually very difficult to say. Treating is everyone's own this thing, but standardization of the reports are very difficult to say because everyone is learned from every different places, and the exposure is also different. So it's very difficult to say.
True. All right. I think we have a very. You have something? So I think we have a very common forum which states that the patients have to be properly educated about their symptoms. I've made them aware that why is the physician leading them to a diagnostic center or a radiology center or maybe even to a super specialist. And equally, the super specialist has to be again back in touch with the leading physician to inform the physician that what is the patient currently doing and how is he performing. And I think that is where the community can come as a help to these doctors, saying how can this all be amalgamated into one thing. As also sir mentioned, we can have a lot of community clinics where private clinics are registered with the community for the betterment of all other patients. I think that's the best approach, at least for this upcoming Gen Zs for this world. I thank everyone for this insightful things. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jigar. I would request Dr. Rajesh Dhiravani, sir, to please felicitate our moderator and the panelist. Sir, center. Thank you, sir. Now moving on to the next panel, which is a very interesting one on medical tourism, something which everybody wants to learn about. And the moderator for this session is going to be Dr. Shrutika Thakkar. She is a senior gynecologist and IVF specialist, director of Medansh Hospital in Mulund. She has had over more than 3,000 successful IVF pregnancies, and she has a keen interest in medical tourism. So, Dr. Shrutika, over to you.
Thank you everyone for staying back for this last session, second last session, just pre-lunch when the delicious fragrances from the lunch section are wafting in. Everybody is still here. So I thank you all for your patience. Beginning our panel on medical tourism, when, why and how. Let me invite my panelists. We've already heard from Dr. Ajay Thakkar, chairperson and managing director of the Jupiter Group of Hospitals, with 1,700 beds to his leadership. Welcome, Ajay sir. Also, I would like to invite Dr. Jigar Dakshini, who is working as an associate consultant in critical care medicine at Kokilaben Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital, Mumbai, and he is an internal medicine specialist with an experience in managing cardiac critical care medicine cases. Also, I would like to invite Dr. Poonam Rana, healthcare professional and co-founder of IndMed Travels, with expertise in medical tourism, international patient coordination and healthcare operations. She has a background in dentistry and she has built a leadership role in cross-border healthcare services. So welcome Dr. Poonam. Also Mrs. Archana Bhalla, who is one of the chief recommendations I got when I wanted to make the panel. Everybody was recommending her for her 20 years of leadership experience in MVT, medicine, value, travel. She specializes in building profitable international patient programs from the ground up and scaling them to strategic government collaborations. She has dabbled in international patient services and coordination health ministry tie-ups for more than 40 countries across the globe. So it's nice to have Mrs. Archana Balla here. Also gracing the panel is Mrs. Swapna Shinde, associated with SL Raheja Hospital, a Fortis associate. She has also a lot of experience in international business development systems, and she has built international corridors between SL Raheja Hospital and the globe by connecting key operatives, key opinion makers and partners, government officials. So she's personally traveled to international destinations and developed best possible relationships. So we have a very prestigious panel here. And I would like to ask them some questions. Can I get the slide changers, please? May I have the slide changer? How do I change? Yeah. So medical tourism, as we know, is a term involving people who travel from one location to another location for seeking treatment. So something where they want to explore maybe higher expertise, lower cost, etc. So my first question is to Dr. Dakshini. Why do you think India is emerging as a good destination for international medical tourists? Mic is off.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So the question, why India is preferred as medical tourism hub? The first thing is that it provides unmatched cost benefits. Treatment in India is comparatively cheaper, 70 to 80% cheaper than Europe, UK, USA. Number of surgeries like bypass, knee replacements are also cheaper in India. Second is we have thousands and lakhs of skilled, experienced doctors. In India, doctors treats volume, and high volume is equal to experience. And I would like to say that experience at scale is India's silent superpower. Third is minimal wait time. Minimal wait time in India, outside the patients have to wait months and months for surgeries, where in India you can diagnose, do the surgery and discharge within days. So because of all these things, India has not just accidentally, preferred as the global this thing for the medical tourism. It is because of all these things of affordable healthcare and holistic approach for the patients. Holistic approach which compromises of allopathy and Ayush systems also, which provides a complete package for the patients for the treatment.
So very well answered, Dr. Dakshini. We had the Minister of Ayush, Rajesh Bhai, also today talking about what India offers globally to the world very differently from other countries. So we have this wellness concept. We have our ancient science of yoga, Ayurveda, integrated with Western medicine. I think we are doing wonders, and I think patients have preferred that. My next question is to Mrs. Swapna Shinde. With your experience of spearheading a very big corporate hospital in Mumbai, what do you think, which specialties are attracting the maximum patients, the international clientele, from where are they growing?
Yeah, so first we put patients' care first, then the business goals. Day to day, we have a patient transparency, like updating about their patient care, then what all things are happening, the bills and everything. Third is post care, which is very important, which we always give them post when they go back to the country. There is always a follow up that we do it into a very smooth manner with a team. And fourth is the feedback mechanism which we have. Every patient which comes for a treatment or any surgery, we have a feedback system which help us to again to get into better things, so that next time when they come, they don't have the same thing which we have given a feedback to us. This is how we deal every day with the patient care.
But which are the specialties where you are seeing the maximum growth? There must be some star departments where you are feeling.
So maximum growth we started with the international team. Beginning was very difficult, but then we have taken up. And then we have a patient care team, which is again a good team, which help us today to overcome the challenges which is taking place.
Mrs. Archana Bhalla, I know you are working at Hiranandani Hospital, which as an IVF specialist, I know how much work it does in surrogacy. Earlier when it was, it used to be a hub for international medical tourists. So what do you think about reproduction, fertility? How is it attracting medical tourism?
So with the rules, regulations, government, what we look for needs to be changed. Now it has become stringent for the surrogacy is not allowed.
Yes.
We cannot have an egg donation or the donors available. So this particular segment has hit hard from the IVF point of view. But others are flourishing well.
So which are the departments that you feel have most potential for growth now?
See, in my experience, I am still getting good number of oncology, holistic care, whether it is radiation, medical oncology, and all types of oncosurgery, brachy or carticel, redo surgeries in orthopedics. So the surgeries which are spoiled already. Now many of the African countries and Middle East, they are developed and they are doing replacements. What we are getting now is the spoiled cases. We call it redo surgeries. We are master into neuro, spine, rehab are the hotcakes right now for us from the business point of view, and preventive health checks. Once in a year, I have a patients coming regularly, same people, and flying down all the way and taking the mega health check, like a diamond one, which costing not less than $1 lakh, which is completed within 2 days of time. So these are the specialty which are
seeking a lot of
potential.
So Ajay sir, I had a discussion yesterday with you, and you have some views about concerns about how India is emerging as a player in the international medical tourism market. So what do you think are the concerns from the patient side when they are choosing India for medical tourism?
Now the question that you raised privately and I answered privately was which patients are coming to India, and I think Dr. Kotecha or Vaidya Kotecha truly said that these are poor African patients who are coming to India for treatment. Yeah. The affluent patients or from Europe or from Gulf also do not want to come to India.
Why so, sir? Why do you feel? Where are we lacking?
We are lacking everywhere. Yeah. So, for example, which is the most favorite destination in Asia for medical tourism is Thailand, Bangkok. So let us say the busiest hospital, Bumrungrad. What has it got to offer to patient? It has 5 dedicated hotels. One hotel is for Arabic patient, one hotel is for Bangladeshi patient, one hotel is for Japanese patient, and one hotel is for all other patients. Government has given them a visa officer in the hospital. There are 23 language translators sitting in the hospital so that anybody from any part of the Europe comes, he will get the translation. So there are a lot of things that India will have to do besides just money to attract high-end medical tourists.
And sir, do you think there's a concern about lack of quality service? Are accreditations and all useful when you want to build up a medical tourism program?
Once upon a time, that was an issue. About 7 years ago, now it is not there, the government of Oman and Bahrain went to an extent of saying that even a blood test done in India is not valid in our country because it can be fraudulent.
But I think we have worked on that issue, and I'm glad that that is one positive development that has happened. My next question is to Mrs. Archana Bhalla. What are the common non-medical challenges that international medical tourists face when they are in India?
So, as rightly mentioned by the dignitaries here, clinically, hospitals do really well. The silent deal breaker is non-medical frictions. If those are met, then patients have 100% faith in clinical outcome. They are not worried about the treatment. What they're worried is about, will they be safe? Will somebody be there at the airport to receive them?
Right.
What if he doesn't come? Who will be my next go-to at the airport? Language is the another major challenges. Many of the time, to save some grants by the patient or by the hospital, we do not have proper professional translators, interpreter services.
Right.
We call, one of the nurse has worked in the Arabic world, so let's call her, she will do the translation. But please understand, here the challenges come. Patient don't understand, nurses are not able to, ad hoc interpreter is not able to do the justice to the patient. They don't understand what surgery, how much time, what time I have to stay in hospital, how much time stay in the India, what is the follow-up, what is the clinical outcome, what is my expectations from the doctor. This is not clear. So as rightly sir said, Bangkok, the Thailand hospital, they have the consent form in their patient's regional language, Bangladeshi language, Arabic language. Patient coming from Francophone countries, there is no harm. What we do, we just greet them.
Expect, yeah.
We just greet them. Como ça va? Ça va bien, merci. How are you? Bonjour. After that,
We
are
don't
clean
know their
bold.
language.
So
Correct.
the proper hiring of the interpreter is very important. It is expensive, which we have to take it on our panel. Then after that, what is challenging is transparency. What estimate is been given, what actually, of course, we have to make it very clear, and every hospital does it. If you're calling patient for A services, based on the clinical examination, it may vary. But that disclaimer has to be there. Many major hospitals are missing on to it. Except that language, as I said, financial problem, bank remittance issue, it takes sometimes 5, 6 days. Fund has been transferred. We have got the remittance, but it is parked. Unless whether it is Hawala or not, the bank is not giving the clarity. 5 days gone for billing has gone up multifold. We don't trust patient. No, we cannot give you clarity on the OT. Surgery will not take you in the OT.
So they're just staying.
They're just staying
They're just
idle.
Absolutely.
And it's not about, they not only judge hospital or India on a clinical outcome, they also judge the hospital, how safe they felt, how respected they were, and how supported they were. So these are the very important thing, non-medical thing. Clinically, they have 1000% sure they will be good. Small diagnostic, small nursing home, they will be fine clinically. But these are the challenges.
So I think these are very nice points brought about by our panelists. Just like it takes a village to raise a child, I think it takes a whole team and so many other non-medical support staff and systems to kind of make a medical tourism department in any kind of a hospital. There was a nice point which was brought about talking to the patient, setting right expectations. Dr. Dakshini, what do you think? How do you differ in your counseling when you're dealing with international patients?
Yeah, so of course treating international patients is professionally rewarding, but it definitely comes with its own set of challenges. First and foremost being the communication part, communication to them about the pre-treatment counseling, the diagnosis, the further surgeries and the complications, the risk involved. Second, sometimes these patients, they present with poor medical records which are there in their own language, which are poorly documented. Sometimes these patients have device, but we don't know the specification of the device. If a patient is having a pacemaker, but we don't know the details about it. And all these things, along with that, there are cultural differences also. Sometimes the cultural differences about the causation of the disease, about any end of life care, if we want to talk to them about blood tests and all these things. So all these things play a huge part, and a lot of the patients who travel abroad, they come with a fixed set of expectation that traveling abroad is equal to guaranteed treatment. So it's very important to counsel them with the help of interpreter and make them understand all these things, and take them on board in every rounds, detail history and everything. You have to talk to them and then go forward about it.
So you need a a dedicated time that
Dedicated,
you
yeah.
need to spend. More time has to be spent with these people to understand and to get over the cultural differences.
Yes, yes.
So my next question is to Dr. Poonam Rana. In your experience, can you explain briefly the current medical visa process? Because it seems like one of the greatest challenges that patients are facing nowadays.
Thank you, Dr. Shrutika. I think this is one of the most common asked questions amongst the international patients. So to begin with, there are two kinds of visa, Med 1 and Med 2. Med 1 is for the patients and Med 2 is for the attendants who are coming along with the patient. To apply for a medical visa, they need to have a proper history documented by their local doctor. Then secondly, a proof of funds that they can afford the treatment that has been there conducted in India. Third is an invite letter from Indian hospital mentioning that this and this patient is being treated for so and so medical history and this much would be required. So, and the problems that usually patients face is incomplete documentation. Sometimes they come with old photos sticked and half information there on the medical visa. Then they face is they do not apply for medical visa at the same time of the attendee. So attendee का visa होता नहीं है and patient का visa आ जाता है. So that is the time then they face problem.
I think we often face a problem in the documentation because the patient's name is not written clearly
Half
or the
names are
doctor is
written,
not
yeah.
writing the need for the medical travel very clearly. So documentation, I think,
Even
is
in the
very, very important.
discrepancies, if the local doctor is not mentioned the same kind of treatment that has been invited, so वो problem भी होती है.
Correct. Mrs. Archana Bhalla, my next question is to you. What role should the doctors and hospitals play in simplifying this visa, travel and patient coordination? What can we do better?
So, don't mind here the clinicians, but the right tool for the right job.
This is
fits
not our
here.
job, right?
Don't do it because you'll wear out. You'll burn out. It's like it starts from the. If you have started WhatsApp University, patient will ask you, "I have landed at 3 o'clock in the night." You're not supposed to be answering that. But if you don't answer, and if you have entertained all those questions on the WhatsApp, you have to answer then. Then next time, doctor, is the water kept in the room is drinkable, potable? You will not be able to answer all those well. Leave it to the SPOC. SPOC, single point of coordinator. One case manager designated to each patient. One case manager might handle 5 cases. So let them do the coordination part. Let them do non-clinical seamlessly. The case manager will be the bridge between the nursing, between the doctor, the TPA, the billing counter, the insurance, the concierge services, and the clinician as well. If the doctors will start doing it, you should never set an expectation that these will be done by us. It's not. What they expect from you is the treatment and what they're expecting and the clarity.
Right.
The clinicians are the one who takes away the fear and build trust. And the hospital is the orchestra. We are the experience owner. So let us drive that. Yes, you can come up and explain it or escalate the complaint. Okay, patient is not happy, look into it. But the moment you get into it, it spoils the broth.
So I think the point which is emerging on this panel is it's a team. It's a team activity. It is not like a single clinician-driven activity that you invite patients, start answering their WhatsApp questions and expect them to be happy with the whole service.
It goes about the visa as well. Now the visas will not be entertained on the single letter. It is through the Ayush portal that has to be answered where each and every doctor's data is entered. The moment they put they feed the name of the doctor, profile will come up. So you don't have to write separate letter. Never promise about the visa because we can only coordinate. Execution we cannot do.
Absolutely.
Never promise about that, okay, aapka insurance hai, we have the tie-up, you will get it, come over. There are cases
Challenges which come up.
insurances have declined the entire treatment plan. then they lose the trust on the treating surgeon. So don't be that part.
So
Let us
clear
be
expectation
Yes.
setting is, I think, very,
Yes.
very important.
Yes.
Mrs. Swapna Shinde, how do you balance ethical patient-centric care with the commercial aspects of medical tourism? Such a team-building activity obviously requires funds.
Yes.
We need to balance both the things.
Yeah, so when the patient comes with the diagnosis or anything which they wanted or treatment like, so we first analyze it, then we decide what treatment is required, and accordingly the estimation, the counseling done. Sometimes it happens that the reports which are there in their country are different than the reports which we have done it in our hospitals. So again, we have to make them that this reports which you have done is not the what we are giving you the estimate for, because always the estimations are given before they leave from their country. So coming here, sometimes that happens that the estimation changes. So they have to be explained, well counseled, so that they understand and that they get it treated.
So I think, again, it is a lot of coordination that is involved.
Yes.
My next question is to Dr. Poonam Rana. When the patients leave the country, there is generally a breakdown in the follow-up. How do we keep on maintaining this follow-up, and what is the role, what is our role when international patients leave and go back to their country? How do we keep on doing the follow-up?
So basically, first thing first is that we maintain a good schedule, promising them that, okay, this is the schedule when we can appoint your follow-up appointments with the current doctor that they have treated. Secondly, making sure that they are carrying all the documents and all the medical records along with them, so that, you know, that can be communicated with the local doctors over there. Any follow-up physical presence of the patient can be done over there with the medical records. Third is access to the medication. Sometimes the medication is not there. So what are the replacement meds that can be available in their country? That has to be taken care.
Yeah, there are different laws in different countries. Like the GCC does not allow medical termination of pregnancy.
Yeah.
So you need to have different documentation.
Like
right?
different
Yeah.
documentation. And also we make sure that whatever documents we are forwarding or whatever communication is happening from our end should be carry forward in the same way. Because I remember there was one patient, the doctor said them that, okay, let us know whenever you feel under the weather. And that patient literally communicated and translated in the Google.
What is under the weather?
And they said, yahan barish to nahi ho rahi hai. So that is very important that we maintain that cultural differences.
Do you also need a network of local doctors in their country, home country?
That
Because
is where I think medical tourism is finding a gap, and I think there's a big space that can be filled. They can have their local OPD centers where a set of doctors that are on the same line where Indian doctors are, and they can be a good communication and a follow-up care can be provided.
Because I think unwillingness for local care is from local care.
And that provides you trust and credibility also. I mean, you can be accountable for what treatments you have done in India and can be followed up later.
Do you want to say something, Mrs. Swapna?
Yeah, so we have come up with the outreach clinic, like we have OPDs in different countries where when the patient has completed the treatment from that country, the doctors are always informing that what is happening, how many chemo doses are done, or any PET scan, what is the report. So that we have started with different countries like Cameroon, now in Mauritius, Ethiopia, all countries we have our own clinic which the doctors are timely coordinating, and we are treating the patients.
So you need to have an insider when you are coordinating, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So my last question is to Dr. Ajay Thakkar. What one policy level or system level change would you want to strengthen India's medical tourism ecosystem in the next 5 years? You've been vocal about where we lack.
No. I don't think government needs to do. I don't think government needs to do anything. Government has probably done as much as it has to do. I don't think visa is a big challenge if documentation is right. I think the healthcare providers need to do a lot more than what they are doing and need lot more resources. Now, why don't I have a translator in Arabic or in Bangladeshi or in Bahrainese or in Guyanese language or in Mauritian language, which is in a mixture of French and whatever? It's because I don't have 20 patients of that kind. If I'm going to get one patient from Mauritius, it's not possible. So I don't think that the government should do any policy changes. I think the healthcare operators or the hospitals will have to clearly understand whether they are into it as a short haul, they are into it as a long haul, they want to take it as a serious business, or they're just time passing over it, you know.
So it requires dedicated vision and strategy building for it.
On part of the hospital or the healthcare providers, government is fine. I don't see any problem with the government.
So do you see any private sector, smaller segment hospitals role in medical tourism, or is it now only?
No.
It is something that
Will
requires.
the small sector private hospital will be able to answer all these questions that have been posed? You tell me.
Yeah, it is a challenge because we are.
I think he's,
I
he's
think the
core
multitaskers.
businessman. He has identified which sector, which strategy. So I think that's
I think
how
the
he's-
government is fine. You can't blame the government. They have done more than what they could do. But are the healthcare providers ready for it, or they are only wanting those poor patients to come here? Do we want Japanese to come to India?
So that is a question I
No,
wanted
that is the
to
question
ask
I'm
you.
asking the healthcare operators. This is not for the government. And I agree with Dr. Kotecha or Vaidya Kotecha, I don't know how to address you, sir. Please pardon me. Can I call you doctor? Thank you. He rightly said that the holistic healthcare, alternative medicine, Ayurveda, all those things can attract a very high-end paying crowd. Like in Germany, you have spas and resorts where they could charge you as much as 10,000 euros per day, which is 8 lakh of rupees per day for doing what? For getting into the salt water.
I think I would like to add on to this. Recently, I attended MMITC, that's a medical tourism convention in Dubai, and the 90% of convention was the minimizing line between or diminishing line between wellness tourism and medical tourism.
Correct.
So people are shifting their approach from getting treated to getting well.
Getting
So
preventive
if
health.
India has to really get
So it has to
into
get one complete system where everybody is coming under one roof, defining their scope of work and coming together as a nation, as a healthcare system, so that
So, sir, as all of you all as entrepreneurs, do you all think there is more business sense in wellness tourism rather than medical tourism?
no, there is sense in everything if you are completely focused on doing what you are doing.
Okay.
You want one Arabic patient in or 2 Arabic patients in a month, there is no sense. But if you want 2 Arabic patients every day, then there is sense. But I would agree with Dr. Kotecha again and again that it makes a lot of sense to offer what no other country is offering. What you are offering, Thailand can offer, Turkey can offer, soon Gulf will be able to offer.
So
Today, if I
unmet need.
have to, let me tell you, today if I have to do a lung transplant, I would rather go to Abu Dhabi from India. So, lot of other countries will be able to offer what we are offering, but what we have and what we can offer and what no other country can offer
That is something we
should
need
be our
Yeah.
main focus on medical tourism.
So I think, our USP is our Indianness, our USP is our ethics, our culture, our background. I think we should take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is a huge unmet need that sir has highlighted today. So that comes to the end of my panel. Are there any last words from my panelists? You all have been wonderful panelists. Any last words?
Dr. Kotecha can give last words instead of us because
Yeah, sure.
anyway.
Mike, we can.
Yeah, she wants to add one.
Yes, please do.
This was the recent changes that we did in our medical tourism company. From shifting our treatment providing company, we changed our approach to patient personalized care.
Right.
Educating them that, okay, there are different modalities which are present. Because patients who are traveling from abroad are not even aware of such systems like Ayush. So first we give them, okay, this is the kind of treatment that is also existing and that you can pursue along with your allopathic treatments.
So it builds a
So I
beautiful
think
bouquet of services.
educating is one of the factor that we initiated in our company as a change, and I think that was much required. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Actually, I want to add, as mentioned by sir, I want to mention something which happened just now when we were talking our finance minister has actually announced something very important. She announced 3 apex level All-India Institute of Ayurveda in the country. She also announced the medical value travel to support medical travel, scheme to support states in establishing 5 regional medical hubs where Ayush centers, medical value tourism facilitation centers, and infrastructure of diagnostics, post-care and rehabilitation will be developed. And also, she also announced about an institute, National Institute of Hospitality in medical travel. So those things are actually, the things are taking shape. So I'm so happy to mention this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I think the government has done enough.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'll request Kotecha sir only to please come on dais and felicitate our moderator and our panelists, please.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the honor. Now we are moving on to the last keynote session, which is the rehab tourism by Dr. Bhavin Chande. This is keeping in theme of what we have been discussing up till now. So I would request Dr. Bhavin Chande to please come on the dais.
Hello. Good afternoon. Everyone here? Hello. Is it audible? Okay. See, basically we physios are used to work in fitness department. And hello. જ્યારે ફિટનેસની એક્સરસાઇઝ કરાવતા હોય ને તો લોકો એમ કે સાહેબ ફિટનેસ તો કરાવો પણ જમવાની ના નહીં પાડતા. અને what a coincidence, it's a lunch time and physio is on floor. But I'm not resisting anyone for the food, but just give me 5 minutes. And just almost everything is discussed in last session. But I want to clarify more on this. People just not want hospital. They want hospital with hospitality. People don't want treatment. They want treatment with comfort. And that what solutions PhysioFit has given to people. Okay. What we are doing the neuro rehab tourism. We developed one resort that is called the neuro rehab resort. That is called the robotic neuro rehab resort. In last session, people has discussed about લોકોને હોસ્પિટાલિટીઝ જોઈએ છે. They want the 5-star hotel. Okay, in Thailand, they have a 5-star hotel, they have a translator. I do have all the solution in my premises. I developed one neuro rehab resort in 45,000 square feet. Okay, I do have accommodation in my premises. I do have translators in my premises. I have visa assistants in my premises. I have all the types of food varieties in my premises. And we have also AI solutions for the translations. We do have soakers for the patients. That soakers patient can utilize, and if we say in Gujarati, it can be translated in Arabic. So it's very easy to resolve all these things. That's why we developed this robotic neuro rehab resort. See, we heard about wellness tourism. We heard about medical tourism. But what is this rehab tourism is? There's very simply, I can say it's a extended version of medical tourism. That is called the rehab tourism. And why it is required? See, I just want to say about one of my patient. The patient is of multiple sclerosis. She's staying in Canada, okay? And she want physiotherapy over there, but the problem of there is a lack of staffs over there, there is an insurance regularity over there, so patient is just getting only one session over there. 15 days, patient is getting only one session. So now what patient has done a MOU with me for the next 7 years. Every December to February, patient is coming to PhysioFit for the neuro rehab tourism. Same way, I got one patient from Dubai. Patient was in Thumbe rehab in Dubai, and patient is almost spent 18 lakhs for the rehab. And patient has come to the India, and patient just paid 2.5 lakhs, and patient is got recovered. See, patient wants the emotions. Patient wants the hospitality. Patients want the tourism. See, many times patients are coming to me and patients are saying like, doctor, there is a holiday of 3 days. Can you give me holidays of 3 days? I want to go to Dwarka. So why can't I give you package of Dwarka along with this? So this is actually what patient required. Patient requires rehab tourism with some hospitalities, with some comfort. That what PhysioFit is giving. I don't want to go in this all details in slide, but I just want to say, just give comfort to the patient, just give the hospitality to the patients, and the patients are ready to come to the India for any treatments, any rehab. And India is the only great opportunities for the rehab tourism. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bhavin. And I would like to call upon Yogesh Bhai Thakkar to felicitate our speaker. Yogesh Bhai Thakkar. Photograph, please. Thank you. And I would like to hand over lunch. And this was the last session of the day. I thank all the exhibitors, all the participants, faculty, and to get me involved, Dr. Praveen Daya, and and Satish sir for giving us the opportunity. Now I request all of you to proceed towards lunch. Lunch is just at the back. All of you are invited for lunch. Thank you.